What's the hardest part of growing up as the gifted sibling in a house that treated your brother like a rough draft? My parents had a theory. They believed that raising two boys 18 months apart meant they had one shot to build the perfect son twice, and that any way my younger brother Theo differed from me was a defect they were obligated to fix. I was the template, he was the copy that kept coming out wrong, and their whole lives became an effort to correct him back to me. It started with report cards and never stopped. When I brought home an A in math, they didn't celebrate it. They photocopied it and taped it to Theo's desk as a standard. Every subject I took, he had to take a year later, and he had to beat my grade or there'd be consequences. When I made the honor band on trumpet, they made him quit the drums he loved and handed him a trumpet, because our father wanted two brass boys matching. The thing is, Theo and I were nothing alike and we loved each other fiercely. I was the quiet, book-shaped kid who found school easy. He was funny and restless and brilliant with his hands. He could take apart a lawnmower engine at 11 and put it back together better. None of that counted in our house. If it wasn't something I did first, it was a distraction that needed to be drilled out of him. They compared our bodies too. When I hit a growth spurt and Theo didn't, our mother put him on a strict diet and made him do stretches every morning to catch up. When his voice dropped before mine, our father acted like Theo had done it on purpose to embarrass me. We had the same haircut, the same clothes a size apart, the same bedtime, the same everything, except I was always the one being copied from and he was always the one falling short. Theo used to whisper to me after lights out about the day we'd get out. He wanted to go to a trade school 2 states away, become a diesel mechanic, work with his hands and never touch a trumpet again. I wanted to study literature. We had a plan and a shoebox of saved birthday money and a bus schedule printed at the library. Then the pressure escalated into something I still can't fully describe. Our father decided Theo needed to be held back a grade, voluntarily, so we'd be in the same year and could be measured side by side. When Theo refused, they pulled us both out and started homeschooling us, sealing off the one place Theo got to be himself. He got quieter. He stopped talking about the mechanic school. I'd catch him just staring at the wall. We ramped up the escape plan. We were 3 months from Theo's 16th birthday, which our father had circled on the calendar as the day Theo would start an intensive program to get him back on track. We counted the money. We memorized the route. Our mother found the shoebox. She didn't scream. She sat us at the table and counted it bill by bill and asked what it was for. We said matching bikes. She didn't believe us. Our father came home and the two of them just looked at us in total silence for an hour, which was worse than any yelling. They took our phones. They stopped letting Theo out of the house at all. Then, 3 weeks ago, Theo was riding in the car with our father to pick up groceries when a truck ran a stop sign and hit the passenger side. I was home when the hospital called. They wouldn't let me back to see him for hours. When a surgeon finally came out, he said Theo was alive, but his right hand and forearm had been crushed against the door. Multiple fractures, severed tendons, nerve damage. They operated 4 times over 2 weeks. When Theo came home, his right hand didn't work the way it used to. He couldn't fully close it. The fine motor control, the thing that made him magic with an engine, was gone, and the doctors weren't sure how much would ever return. I sat with him every day, my brilliant brother, staring at a hand that wouldn't obey him, the one gift they'd never valued, and now he'd lost anyway. That night, our parents called me into the kitchen alone while Theo slept. My father had a folder. He spread out the medical records, the imaging, the surgeon's notes on Theo's ruined hand, right there on the table. Our mother sat beside me and put her hand on my arm. She said they'd been talking,